Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the BGF Podcast. I'm your host, Jalunka, alongside of
Brandon.
Brandon. Let's talk about how to ruin a championship window.
The Buffalo Bills. So we'll start off from early on in the season, off season really.
Yeah.
Usually this Bills team coming into the year, they're usually the favorites to win the Super Bowl on the betting odds. This year that wasn't really the case. It was the Chiefs and the Eagles, the teams that made the Super Bowl last year. Usually you're going to see the Bills there. This year the hype hasn't really been there like it has in past years. And people are thinking, myself included, who I had Josh Allen as my MVP before the season started. I'm not going to shy away from that. But, yeah, they come into the season, not much expectation. Maybe they could do something and prove guys wrong. They lose week 1 to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers goes down, and you basically lost to a terrible offense with Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And you're 0-1 to start the year, but then we see a bounce back from them.
The Vegas Raiders, yeah, they come in on this 3-game stretch here, 38-10, 37-3 over the Commanders, and then they smack the piping hot Dolphins 48-20 at this point in the season. And at this point, I won't even lie, I thought these guys were Super Bowl contenders. I remember having them number 1 on the power rankings one week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was right after this Dolphins game. I could be wrong. But then they go on this little, streak of like misfortune where their offense has really not been there. They lose to Jacksonville 25-20. They beat the Giants 14-9. I remember them almost choking that one. And Pats 29-25, 24-18 over the Bucks. It was just a stretch of like really mediocre play from this high-powered offense that we're used to. And I think a big factor to that was the turnover issue. I mean, I remember Josh Allen having, let me just read his stats real quick. I think he has a pick in every single game following that London stretch. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Which is not great. Plus, I know he had some issues with fumbling. Team was fumbling around him. He was hitting receivers open. They would fumble. James Cook was having fumbling issues at one point. And too many turnovers costing this team. I remember recently they fired Ken Dorsey, and they thought that would be the answer. And ever since he's been fired, fine. Their offense has looked better. Josh Allen has been running the football a lot more, which is what you need to do with the guy who's like 6'5", however big he is. He's just a beast. And their offenses look good, but now their defense is sort of slumping and not picking up after them. And yeah, what do you think about their stretch?
I think a big problem for them that has hindered them, especially defensively, is the Trey White injury.
Yeah,
him being out for the year, he's one of their big-time leaders on that defense, and he's been a Pro Bowler for basically the last 5 years. Yeah, last 5 years. So that's been a big hindrance for them. They obviously at the deadline did pick up Rasul Douglas, who I think has been playing pretty solid for them. It's just overall the defense has not played well enough, and they need better. I think on offense as well, the way Stephon Diggs has been acting, and we obviously saw a few weeks ago his brother come out and say that he wasn't happy. Why would he say this? Like, obviously Stephon probably had something to do with it. He probably told him something. He wouldn't just say that out of nowhere. And I don't know, it's just really concerning, and it feels like the championship window for this roster is kind of closing. Obviously Josh Allen isn't aging, or he's not old or anything, but we've seen it with guys like Justin Herbert, or even in the past like Phillip Rivers. They're great quarterbacks, but the front office just can't put the right piece around them to win at the right time. And it felt like the last 3-4 years where they were consistently the contender against the Chiefs, like that was their time to do it. And right now they're having to pay guys, and it's just going to be rough to really build that roster that they had before. When Allen was on that rookie contract, it made it a lot easier to get top guys.
No, for sure. And I just want to go back to that Stephon Diggs type of thing. Do you feel like Sean McDermott has lost this locker room?
Yeah, I feel like it's probably time to move on from McDermott, and they just need to freshen up in the locker room. I feel like his era was that last 3-4 years, and I feel like the locker room isn't really responding to him anymore. They probably do need a fresh face, and we saw it, like you said, when they fired the OC, Ken Dorsey, and they brought in Joe Brady. The offense responded, so I feel like they kind of just need a fresh face telling them what to do, and that'll probably help out at least the roster. And probably going into next season, this season's probably a write-off right now. They're, what, 7? No,
they're 6-6. They're 500. Almost 500 of teams right now.
Yeah, 6-6. Now they're going into their bye this week, so we'll see if maybe that does anything. I think they do play the Chiefs in their next game. So that's going to be another really tough game for them. And they kind of just got to win out now the rest of the way. Even if they do win out, I don't think it's really guaranteed they can make the playoffs. But
no,
you'd think if they went out, they would. But it's going to be a really tough road for these guys. If you look at their schedule the rest of the way, how realistic does it look that they do
it's
win
not
out?
not too bad. I know they get the Chiefs posed by. That's going to suck.
Yeah.
Then they get the Cowboys, which also sucks.
Yeah, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, no, this is rough. I lied. I don't know what I saw there. I saw the Chargers and the Pats, and I was like, okay, that's pretty fair. But then the
Miami.
Dolphins, Week 18. But also, depending on that Week 18, if Miami's already clinched, maybe they'll get a free win because Miami's going to play backups or whatever the case may be. But either way, this is a tough stretch for Buffalo. Plus, the AFC right now is really, really hot. We know everyone from the North. I believe the Steelers division, the AFC North.
They're all over 500.
They're all over 500. They're all in a playoff spot. The Bills are outside. The Texans are right there. And there's another team that I'm forgetting. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Give me a second.
From where?
The AFC. I know there's one that's like right behind Buffalo. Oh, sorry, the Broncos.
Yeah,
That's the other team.
And the Broncos are really hot right now.
The Broncos are flying, yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be tough for the Bills. You got to jump a few of these teams, and I don't know if I see that even being possible. They're already 2 games behind the division, so they have to beat Miami Week 18 and pray that they lose somewhere else. It's just it's going to be tough for Buffalo to get this thing done, but at the end of the day, we know how good this team can be, so I can definitely see it happening. They just need to turn it around post bye, which is it's great that they're having a bye this week. They get to really assess the situation, see what went wrong. But yeah, just touching up on Sean McDermott, I feel like with McDermott, right, during the regular season, he's not bad. He has a total record in Buffalo of 68-41-0, win percentage of .624. He's above 500 in that aspect. His first few seasons were a bit shaky, but then he's really turned it around, having 10 wins in his last 4. So they've been good. They've been running the AFC East for the last 3 years, so he's been good. However, once the postseason comes, minus that 2020 year where they were 1 game off the Super Bowl, hasn't been great. They can't get past the first round or even get past the second round, whatever the case may be. And I think, like Brandon said, that there needs to be a change. Firing Ken Dorsey was a start, but I think they need to go deeper and get rid of McDermott at the end of this season at least. Because he ain't getting it done, and I don't think he will. It's unfortunate because they had such a chance to get it done these past 3-4 years, but they just never able to figure it out. And
another thing I wanted to mention with this offense, they've obviously made it a point of emphasis this year that they do want to run the ball more because we know they are the most pass-heavy team in the NFL by far the last few years. And they brought in guys like Damian Harris, and who's been injured most of the year, and Latavius Murray. I feel like, and obviously James Cook has been the workhorse back. I just don't feel like that's the role James Cook is going to be in his career. I feel like he's more of a pass-catching back, and he could be like a 3-down back here and there, but I don't think it's like a full-time thing for him. And I feel like Latavius Murray right now as your 2, it's just not good enough. I feel like if they could get another guy there and really start to get that run game going, because I think that would help them out a lot. And another positive for them is the emergence of guys like Kincaid and Khalil Shakir.
they've been good.
Yeah, they've really come on for this team and helped them out in a tough time, especially for the offense. So at least they have some positives to take here. Kincaid's probably going to be one of the better tight ends in the NFL now for the years to come. Like, this tight end class was very good. Like, we're seeing it with guys like Kincaid, Laporta, Michael Mayer starting to come on now second half of the year. Tucker Kraft had a nice game. Luke Musgrave.
Luke Mustard.
So they did get guys in this class, and they'll be fine to maybe make the playoffs in the next few years. But I don't know. I think the championship window is just closing for them right now,
and it's closing fast. It's
not really our job to know how to fix them, but just looking at it, I don't really see like a clear path to do this and you'll be back as contenders. I feel like there's a lot of teams that are just getting better and better. Now we're seeing younger QBs come into the league like CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. They're going to start being one of them contenders. The Bengals are obviously going to, this year had a year off because Burrow and the injuries all year.
Yeah.
Now he's off for the year, so they're going to come back strong. KC is always going to be KC. So the AFC, the Jags are also going to start being one of those contenders. So it's just going to keep getting harder and harder, and I don't really see the Bills getting better. I see them getting worse, and it's just super unfortunate for them, and we'll see what happens with them.
It's crazy when you think about salary cap. I know you mentioned this earlier, but Josh Allen on his rookie deal, how much leeway and how much space they had to really sign all these veterans and keep them on the roster. And then, once his contract expires, obviously you're going to pay the man. I mean, what he's done for you guys has been fantastic. His progression's been great. But yeah, no, what I just wanted to add here, do you think if the Buffalo Bills were to get like the secondary wide receiver to play alongside of Diggs, would that help them out? Because I feel like Gabe Davis has been decent this season, but he isn't that alpha 2 that you need. Like, I feel like all these good teams have that 1-2 punch that the Bills are just sort of lacking here. They got Stephon Diggs and they got Gabe Davis, maybe Kincaid. You can make a case for him, but I mean, they're not as explosive as Diggs. And you're looking at other teams like the Dolphins who are hot, and they got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Then you're looking at guys like the Philadelphia Eagles, who have AJ Brown, and Devonta Smith. The Niners have Ayuk and Debo. So, like, I feel like that they need that secondary wide receiver that they just don't have at this moment.
In my opinion, like, I obviously agree with you. I think Gabe Davis on a championship, like a contending team, should be like a 3.
Yeah.
But I think Kincaid can emerge as basically that second passing target threat for them. I feel like he's obviously in his rookie year, so he has a lot more to grow on, and I feel like year on year he'll be able to grow on that role. Maybe this year they should have brought in someone else, but it's easy to say that now. Gabe Davis obviously he's had games this year. That's the thing with Gabe Davis. I find it's either you're getting a huge game from him or you're getting absolutely nothing. Like we saw it in the Eagles game this week. Yeah, like over 100 yards and like 9 receptions. It was a crazy game for Gabe Davis, and they lost. Only if he would have turned back and caught that ball.
Yeah.
They could have won the game for them, but anyway, that's besides the point. It's just, I don't really know if that's going to be the big difference maker for them. I think our running back, for me, would be one place I would like to see them get one more.
But the thing with that is they haven't even been horrible. Like, James Cook is averaging 4.8 yards a carry.
But it just feels like they don't trust him.
They don't, because they have him going on these stretches where he looks great, and then all of a sudden Latavius Murray comes in, which is fine. I get it. You signed him. You want to utilize him. He has been good, averaging 4 yards a carry. He's that in-between tackler kind of running back, but I don't know. It's the same thing with the Falcons here. When your running back is hot and you just take him out for the second, it's just weird. I don't get it. And then Josh Allen also runs it, and
he's not running the ball as he used to, but I think that's part of them wanting to protect their franchise guy, obviously. So, you got anything more?
I think that pretty much wraps it up here, Buffalo fans.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
We feel for you guys, man. We really do. 4 years in a row, you were right there and you couldn't get it done. You thought you had it again, but I don't know. I feel like that championship window's closing.
Yeah, obviously, we're not like fans of the team, so we don't watch every single snap like you diehard Bills fans will. So if you think we got anything wrong here, let us know in the comments. Maybe show us a different perspective that we're missing. But right now, it feels like this is just the way the Bills are going, and I don't see it getting much better for them. When you have Josh Allen, you never know. This stuff could always happen, but right now, it's all looking great for them. And yeah, so let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit the bell, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.